The Intra-Africa Metrology Systems, AFRIMETS, is a continental organization formed by sub-regional metrology organizations representing more than 40 African countries as permanent and ordinary members as well as observers. AFRIMETS came into existence in 2006 with the objective of harmonizing accurate measurement in Africa, establishing new measurement facilities, thereby gaining international acceptance for all measurements critical to export, environmental monitoring, and sanitary as well as phytosanitary issues. Hosted by the National Metrology Institute of Ethiopia, the Continental Organization held its 8th General Assembly in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, from June 18th to 19th, bringing over 70 metrology professionals together from 25 African countries and the rest of the world. The General Assembly was officially opened by the Minister of Science and Technology of Ethiopia, Ms. Demitu Hambisa, who welcomed all the delegates from the sub-regional metrology organizations as well as all the international guests to Ethiopia.
I now invite Her Excellency, Ms. Demitu Hambisa, the Minister of Science and Technology, Minister, to officially open this General Assembly.
It is well known that meteorology plays a great role to economy and to the society as a whole. Accurate measurement forms the backbone of the technical regulations, written standards, and legal metrology, thus the prerequisite for free and fair trade between nations and citizens inside the country.
The General Assembly was attended by delegates from all the 6 sub-regional metrology organizations, SRMOs, in Africa, representing scientific and industrial and legal metrology, and observers from German Metrology Institute, PTB, International Bureau of Weight and Measurement, BIPM, AFRAC, AFRIMETS, and the African Union Commission, to mention a few. The assembly was preceded by executive committee meetings, various technical working group meetings. The technical working groups evaluated new and made comparisons among various innovations in the area of metrology. The chair of AFRIMETS, Mr. Murad Ben Hassin, briefed the delegates of the progress of AFRIMETS since the 7th GA held in Lusaka, Zambia. He presented the activities and function of AFRIMETS, highlighting the AFRIMETS roadmap and importance of education and training to help AFRIMETS be able to pull experts who will make things very dynamic.
AFRIMETS is now ready to take over the role of AEROMO in Africa. So in addition to measurement equivalence and harmonization of legal metrology activities, AFRIMETS had liaison with AU NIPAD, liaison with other AEROMOs, such as Euramet. We have a memorandum of understanding signed between AFRIMETS and Euramet, for instance, the establishment of metrology infrastructure, coordination of donor funding, such as for UNIDO project, the awareness creation, the identification of measurement gaps.
The rotating assembly received a number of keynote speeches and statements as well as presentations from representatives of the international organizations, including Hermogene Nisenigmana, chairperson of the Pan-African Quality Infrastructure, and Mr. Andy Henson from the International Bureau of Weight and Measurement, BIPM. The issue of establishing common measurements across Africa was given special emphasis regardless of difference in language, level of laboratories, human resources, and financial constraints among member states.
Yes, it's a problem. Yes, we understand the issue of the language barrier. Yes, we understand the political concern. But technically, if we are people in the quality infrastructure, we should talk the same language, which is technical, which is improving quality. That is the main message that we should get.
The International Bureau of Weight and Measurement further highlighted on the need to avoid repetitive measurements across the continent. As to the representative of the Bureau, the world will see a new international unit system in 2018.
We have lots of real science coming out, pushing the boundaries forward. And every time we as metrologists are able to do something better, we give the whole of the rest of science and all of those innovating in engineering and science and technology a larger playing field on which to produce better, more competitive, cheaper, faster, safer goods and services.
The 8th General Assembly prioritized the need to offer African expertise, theoretical and practical trainings on calibration of high-quality electronic evaluation, detection of sources of error, offering of various training courses, and calculation of uncertainties, among others. AFRIMETS chair also announced that the UNIDO's second-round training program has been launched with a total budget of $265,000. Individual metrology institutes and sub-regional metrology organizations have once again stressed the continued support of the German Metrology Institute, otherwise called PTB, which remains to be one of the funding sources of the metrology organizations in the continent. A representative of the PTB briefed the activity and role of PTB in regional metrology organizations as it helped AFRIMETS from day one of its establishment.
Managed proficiency testing scheme that was running already for one round, and we agreed together with the German Federal Institute for Material Testing to continue this proficiency testing scheme because we saw that there was a big demand from several countries in Africa. We heard before construction, that's something really important. And also there was a basic training course on legal and industrial metrology.
AFRIMETS is commissioned for accurate and widely accepted measurements aimed at ensuring reliable market transactions, whereby consumers feel confident that the goods they buy are of the quantity and quality they require. Most importantly for Africa, accurate and internationally accepted measurements allow market access for food and commodity exports. Unfortunately, the measurement system in Africa at large does not fulfill internationally agreed requirements, affecting the continent's income from exports. Many African countries are reportedly lacking basic metrology infrastructure and especially a scientific, legal, and industrial metrology institute. There is a general lack of equipment and skills. In many instances, they operate in silos, fragmented, and are not usually recognized internationally. Case studies have shown that there is a strong relationship between the adoption of international standards and the extent of trade in measurement and testing equipment. These studies prove that a good metrology system ultimately contributes to the GDP of a country.
Then when you look at the African continent, we had already said the Abuja Treaty was telling us that we should have a common policy on standardization and the measurement system. Actually, it was a very long time that we should have put that there.
One of these cross-cutting topics as well, the e-learning course. It's a blended learning course that was running already in Africa for one time, mainly for the professional dealing with trade agreements. Has come to a second round in Africa. Why do we think it's important? We think it is important because it's also designed for junior people that will be later on in positions that can be also helpful for yourself.
Place this year, and this is just one of the kinds of activities which we will be able to use some of this fund to support because it's a pan-African activity.
Lack of sufficient funds and a difference in the level of laboratories are reportedly the major bottleneck challenging comparison activities among new innovations. The working groups discussed comparison results and presented their technical work programs for 2015-2016. The General Assembly has also heard achievements of sub-regional metrology organizations, presented to it by the respective representatives. In Africa, there are 3 internationally accreditation bodies. Ethiopia's National Metrology Institute is reportedly very close to getting accreditation from AFRAC, as another 7 accreditation bodies are nearing international recognition.
Then the good news, the Ethiopian accreditation body, very close to getting their recognition as well.
We will be performing later on this year, within the next few months, I think 2 or 3 months, also the first pre-peer evaluation on this body. And I need to congratulate Ethiopia because they've been working very hard and they came up very quickly as well to the status where they are at, and they need your support.
The over 25 countries' delegates, among other things, deliberated on improving and introducing new Pan-African quality infrastructure, namely accreditation, standardization, and conformity of measurements across the continent. The issue of self-finance, training programs, the need to reduce cost of metrology development by use of regional organizations, sustaining regional resources, ensuring financially strong sub-regional metrology bodies were given more weight.
The intention is to try to encourage the sustainability of training within AFRIMETS by trying to ensure that countries are self-funding wherever possible. People shouldn't be prevented from putting in their applications just because they don't know today whether they will have the money or whether they will be sponsored for it. It should be clear that people need to put the applications in for the people they would like to attend the course.
I think we need more measures to get the real impact about CIMMRE. I propose that we need to have data from the international exporters, from the international importers, and this can be from the WTO. And also we need to get data from the national governments, which provide medical services, sanitary and safety services.
Half of you to be outside. Just wait for half an hour and we will switch. We will let you visit the mobile facility outside.
All 8th General Assembly participants paid a visit to the National Metrology Institute of Ethiopia, where they gained first-hand information about the institute.
The AFRIMETS GA notes with appreciation.
The 8th General Assembly came to the conclusion of adopting a 16-point resolution. The Assembly endorsed appointments, nominations, and replacements of new chairpersons of regional metrology organizations and technical committee groups. Also approved was the deadline for applications for the Legal Metrology School and the resolution and working plans of various technical committees. It also requested its secretariat to expedite the MOU of Gambia. The next General Assembly is tentatively scheduled and will be hosted in Gambia or Gabon.
I'm a participant from DRC, the République Démocratique du Congo. We came to attend the GA of AFRIMETS, and we are very impressed by the organization. It was a very well organization, and we appreciate also everything that the Metrology Institute of Ethiopia is doing in order to be useful for industry and so on, by its laboratories and all that is being done in this region.
The AFRIMETS GA, this is the 8th Intra-Africa Metrology Conference, and it's a program that brings together all African countries to talk about our quality infrastructure development in our various countries, and of course metrology forms a key aspect of this issue. So this year we are here once again to look at how far we have developed as a nation, as a continent, and I must say that we are going far.
It was such a nice organized event. We really appreciate for the organizers. They did a great job. It was well organized, and we thank the people of National Metrology Institute of Ethiopia for the hospitality. Everything was good, was superb. Yeah, we feel at home.
There were some common challenges that the laboratories identified, and the recommendation was that someone writes a project, a regional project, so that we can better equip the labs to be able to maintain their standards. And also we identified comparisons that we're going to perform for the 2015-2016. So we have a work plan for 2015-16.
It is our first time to organize such kind of regional workshop. I don't know whether we did good or not. You are the judge. Thank you very much. And I thank you so much again. Have a safe flight back home.